Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today we are going to talk about how living abroad changes you. More specifically, how living in Japan changes you. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right in. I have personally lived here now in Japan for 2.5 years, and I moved to Japan for the first time 3 years ago, so I have some experience living here obviously, and I have noticed how I've changed over these past 2.5 years actually. So let me tell you the first big change. Okay, so the first big change that will happen is that you will change yourself. Now this might seem very obvious, but what I mean with this is that during your stay abroad or your move abroad while you're living abroad, you are going to be faced with a lot of challenges, setbacks, difficulties, mainly because in most countries you will be faced with a new language, new rules, new traditions, basically new everything. And in the case that you are moving to a country that's very far removed from, for example, Western culture, in my case, like Western European culture, then those challenges will be even greater. Even the smallest daily tasks will be a challenge, it will be an obstacle, and you'll have difficulty performing them. To give you a little example, if you needed to go to the city hall to get some documents, for example, or to register your new address, well, that would normally not be big of a deal, right? If you were in your home country or in a country that's speaking the same language as yours or English. But if you're in Japan, well, good luck. You can expect to have lots of papers full of kanji. They usually don't really have any English available, no English assistance. So if you want to do that by yourself, courage to go there first, especially if you are a little bit hesitant to ask others to help you. So yeah, first you need some courage, then you need, of course, the skill to read Japanese. If not, you need to bring up the courage again to ask people to help you. And yeah, if you accomplish it, if you are able to do those tasks which seem daunting at first, which seem really difficult and you have no idea how to do them, but you accomplish them afterwards, that builds your confidence actually. It's a way to step out of your comfort zone, learn new things and grow as a person, to change, which I have noticed so much here in Japan in my own personal life. A second aspect of that is new rules. For example, the rules in the country that you're now residing in might be very different from the rules in your home country, and you might break them accidentally. I don't know. For me, it hasn't really happened yet, but it still can be a little bit hard sometimes to get used to new rules. For example, for me, one of the biggest shocks I have is that you can't park your bicycle on the side of the road if you're going to run a little errand. Like, you have bicycle parking lots here in Japan which you have to pay for. That's outrageous in my opinion, because in Belgium you can park your bike almost everywhere, and asking people to pay for parking their bike, that won't happen. People won't stand for it, really. So yeah, that was kind of a big shock. Even though there are some new rules, you might not necessarily agree with them, and yeah, that will also change you in a way that you'll have to accept it even if you don't agree with it. So makes you a little bit more grown up, I would say. Okay, so the second aspect that I wanted to talk to you about today is that after you have lived abroad and you come back to your home country, or you're visiting your home country, and you know that you've changed, you notice it by yourself, or people notice that you have changed, that can be sometimes very hard actually, because it means you might have become a little bit disconnected from your home country, from the people that were in your daily lives, your friends, your family, everybody like that. What I mean with this is that while they obviously also changed, you weren't there to experience that change with them, and you were so far apart that you might have changed in different directions, have evolved in different directions. So you might not necessarily get along with your friends anymore, or you might not be able to hang out with them or talk with them the way you used to. I have personally really experienced this when I first came back from my first year, my study abroad in Japan. I got back home, I went back to Leuven to study at the university, finish my degree in the last 6 months. Oh, sorry for that. And I really noticed I had a hard time reconnecting with my old friends. Some of the old friends I hadn't really talked to a lot in the year that I was abroad, and while I was away, while I was absent, they formed new friendships, new groups, and the dynamics of our year in university had really changed, and I just didn't know really how I fit into that dynamic anymore. So I had a hard time reconnecting with my friends. Obviously I still liked them as people, but we had changed, both of us, like my friends and I, and yeah, it was just not the same anymore. Not only that, but because you have changed as a person, you have also learned to get used to the food and traditions and ways the ways that things are done in the country you have stayed in for a prolonged period. Now when you move back to your home country, you might be really happy to finally be able to eat the food you've eaten ever since you were a kid, or to be able to celebrate or participate in certain traditions, but you will also start to feel a little bit homesick for the country you lived in for a year or longer. So you might miss certain aspects of life in Japan. So even though you're back in your home country, which you really missed, you're still missing Japan as well. So it won't really feel exactly always like the way it was before, you know. Okay, and the last change that I wanted to talk to you about today is that you will be a stronger person. You'll have thicker skin, you will have more confidence in yourself in most of the cases, and you will have grown as a person. In my case, I just want to talk about my case a little bit. When I first came to Japan, the first year was tough, really tough and hard on me. I can say that I didn't have the best of times actually. I had come to Japan not in like this illusion that it was like the best planet, best country on earth or anything, but still the way it was really surprised me and took me aback, you know. And during that first year, I sorted through really a lot of emotions and had some setbacks and some obstacles that I needed to overcome. So yeah, that first year was really tough. I didn't have the best mental health at the time because of my situation then. I cried a lot. There were days where I felt really blue, and yeah, I didn't really like going to the university there, but I managed to get through it with the help of my family here, with the help of my Japanese boyfriend. And ever since I came back to Japan, things have been very different because I had to go through that first really tough year. I kind of got these tools, I built these tools for myself to deal with those kind of troubles. If I now have a blue day, or I don't feel very great, or I have a setback or something, I kind of accept it more and I just let myself feel those things, but not let it get me down, you know. I just try to feel it and then overcome it. Next day, just try again. It's okay to feel down today, just try again tomorrow. And I wouldn't really have those prolonged periods of time where I feel a few days or a week or something where I feel really down and blue and didn't really yeah, feel like doing much, you know. One of the biggest challenges for me personally that I had to face here in Japan is making friends. I still don't really have a lot of friends here in Japan, and that's probably because my personality, my opinions and views don't necessarily match a lot of Japanese people's, just because of their character and the way they are in their friendships. That doesn't really match my way, kind of. I don't know. I am also very I'm kind of introverted. You say that because I have a YouTube channel and everything, and I'm pretty outgoing when I'm around my family, but yeah, when I know somebody, it's easy for me to be outgoing. I will talk, I'll be really happy and yeah, just energetic. But if I don't know somebody, I kind of keep like a distance, you know, and that kind of makes it hard to make friends here in Japan because Japanese people are also kind of more shy, and they won't really initiate contact as easy. But for me too, I am that way as well. So yeah, it's hard for me to make friends in Japan. But when I have made friends then, or if I think I would be able to make a friend with somebody, become friends with somebody, it doesn't necessarily work out every time because of the way we converse, the way we talk to each other, or what we talk about. Conversation is very different in Japan, and that's one thing I struggle most with while making friends. The way Japanese friends and Belgian friends are very different, I feel, you know. And yeah, you're just a little bit more closed and you keep it on safe ground, kind of, these conversations. I feel personally, I'm not saying everybody's like that, but personally I feel that there is less depth in conversations with Japanese people, you know, unless you really know them very well. There's less depth, what personally I struggle with, and that's the reason why I have a hard time making friends in Japan. So yeah, that was the main reason why I actually felt very down during that year. Also because there are some cultural aspects that I just can't really deal with, that I don't get, will never get. Don't worry, I'm going to make a new video about that, but there's no way but through that. So yeah, I had to find a way to deal with it, to overcome those obstacles and become a person who could live in Japan, which I've become now. I still have things every day that annoy me, that upset me, but yeah, I'm content now living in Japan. I wouldn't say I love Japan, living in Japan, but it's okay, yeah. For the foreseeable future, I will still be here. Okay, thank you so much for watching this short video on how living abroad changes you. I have made a similar video once with Lean about how living abroad changes you, for him in Belgium, for me in Japan, but more like day-to-day aspects. So if you're interested in checking that out, I'll link it up here, or is it this side? I always forget. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below how living abroad changed you, if you've lived abroad or if you studied abroad. I would love to hear about that. Definitely consider subscribing, click the subscribe button and put on all notifications because it really supports my channel. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!